Hello and welcome to the MAC weather page for this Tuesday, May 31st. And as we get ready to turn the page into June, May is going to go out above normal temperature-wise. We expected from earlier this spring that May would be a very warm to hot month. And while we certainly didn't have a very hot month, we did end up the last week or last 10 days or so much above normal. The biggest reason why we didn't have a very hot May is our warming temperatures that we expected were about a week to 10 days slower than what we anticipated, but still above normal for May. And as we start June, looks like we may be on the cool side for about a week to 10 days, but the second half of the month going right into the early part of July looks like we could be a very hot period there. Looks like a pretty warm 4th of July coming up. Again, certainly some warm temperatures expected this summer. I'm forecasting 15 days of around 90 or better across the Breckenridge area all the way down towards Blissfield and Jasper. We'll see how we pan out there. Last year here in Breckenridge, we failed to hit 90 degrees one time, and only Blissfield and Jasper hit it once. If we look at the webcam shot this morning, this is from Frankfurt, and you can see a nice start to the day there, as well as much of the lower peninsula is expecting a couple of nice days. I think we might be able to hold off the rain until late Wednesday and into very early Thursday, when we'll see thunderstorms move through the area. And some of those could be marginally on the strong side. We'll have to keep an eye on that as well. Our normal high is 74 for the day. Our normal low is 50. And here in Breckenridge yesterday, we had a high temperature of 81 degrees, a low of 62.9 with no precipitation. Looking across the area, temperatures mainly in the mid 50s to low 60s. Newaygo, of course, a cold spot down to 50. And across the Great Lakes, mainly in the 50s to around 60 across the southern part of the state, into the 40s to low 50s as you get up north, and warmer temperatures back in Wisconsin with the winds beginning to turn back around to the south out ahead of that cold front that'll be pushing here through the area as we get into late Wednesday night. If we look at the soil conditions around the MAC area, you see warm 60s across the area. Very dry conditions still at Brown City, where they haven't picked up much rain at all here in the last 10 days. You can see they're bone dry. Meanwhile, over here at Marlette, they picked up almost an inch of rain in a 2-day period, knocking down their readings there, indicating plenty of moisture at all levels. And you can see the soil conditions as far as moisture-wise, it's still going to take several more weeks to get used to the soil there, with the sensors being planted in a very wet state. It has to acclimate to that soil conditions. If we look at the next slide, you can see these are the growing degree days across the area. And if we look at a graphical format, you can see we're had a really nice push here over the last 10 days, and we're sitting in pretty good shape. Again, all along this whole summer, the anticipated issue, if we're going to have any, is whether or not we get timely rains. So we need to avoid those 8 to 12 day periods with no rain when we get very hot. And that certainly is something we're more concerned about rather than growing degree days. I think we'll be in great shape. And you can see at the 4 different locations, this one being Blissfield, they're one of the latest areas to get 50% corn plant date established. And you can see they're off to a start. And if we look at Breckenridge, a little bit better shape here as we got started a day early. And if we look at the next location, Brown City, again, getting their planned date on the 16th of May in great shape, as well as Newaygo, also in pretty decent shape. Now, all our areas are about just under 2 weeks to solid 2.5 weeks slower in getting to the 50% planned date than we were just a year ago. But again, with a very warm to hot summer we're expecting, I don't believe the growing degree days are going to be the issue. Again, it's going to be timely moisture. If we look at the weather map for this morning, you can see low pressures across the North Dakota area. It's going to track across the northern parts of the U.S. and then up into Canada, and it's going to drag a cold front through, and that's going to mean cooler weather. And once that cooler weather comes in, it's going to stick around for at least a week as it looks right now. So we may see more in the way of 60s rather than 80s that we've experienced lately, probably mid 60s to low 70s for much of next week. You can see that front dropping through the area now, but it'll turn back around as this system comes to through the state here later tomorrow and tomorrow night. You can see by tomorrow morning that low pressure system in northwest Minnesota moving to the northeast. And again, an area of showers and thunderstorms are expected. And some of those could be strong to possibly severe across the Great Lakes as we get into late in the day and into tomorrow evening. And you can see by Thursday evening that front will have moved through the area just some leftover showers across the eastern portions of the state into southwest Ontario for Thursday morning, but I think dry air will move in. It looks like a couple of nice days, and then we could see some more rain as that upper low begins to establish itself over the Great Lakes, and we could see some especially instability showers, maybe even a couple of thunder showers as we get into Saturday late and into Sunday. If we look at the severe weather outlook for day 2 from the Storm Prediction Center, you can see much of the lower peninsula and the upper peninsula back down into Illinois under a marginal risk of severe storms, and we'll keep an eye on later forecasts there. As far as precipitation over the next 7 days from the WPC, looks like the heaviest precipitation will be across the northwest. That's where that low pressure system will track, giving the best support there. And again, much of the area, though, so it should have a good chance of seeing over a half inch. Some of it coming for tomorrow night into early Thursday, and much of it will come over the weekend as we see that upper low set right over top of the Great Lakes and only very slowly move off to the east, keeping the cool temperatures around here for some time to come. Thanks for stopping by and have a great day, a great work week, and 73s to all.